Hello bass family and welcome to Everything Bass. How we're moving on with tapping pattern 11. So cool, man. This one's a little more involved and we're doing it in the key of F major. And I'm struggling if you kind of sense it, because when I created this, I'm going to try to always let you guys know like why I'm making these note choices, but I wanted to do something in the key of F with triads. So I start by tapping the F on the 13th fret with my index finger. Then I play the 5th and the octave F, and I play the major third because it's the tonic of the key. So I've got the A on the 14th fret. So I play this like that. Okay. Then I look at the key, and if you guys, I'm going to go ahead and give you my thought process, but please don't get derailed if you're not there theoretically yet. But I took and I looked at the chords in the key of F, descending as if I'm from the so I'm from the F. Now the next chord is E diminished, then it's D minor, and it's C major, and then I go as low as the B flat major. And so I'm using the triads that are in the key. So I'm going. This one's actually then. And I'm tapping through them. But here's where there's kind of a unique thing. I don't move my right hand. My right hand stays on the 5th and the tonic of F major. Then I move my left hand to play the root and the 3rd of the E diminished. But I still use these notes. Then I go down to the D minor and play the D and the minor 3rd, which is an 10th, sorry. Then I go down to here and play the major, and then here and play the major. So it sounds like this. Now to finish the phrase out and to challenge myself, I want to keep this as my root. So you see what I did there is on my kind of to get back to the beginning of the groove. The upper note I tapped is I start by tapping the C. The B flat, and I use the 3rd of that. Then the 3rd from the C. Then go back to the B flat. The 3rd from the D minor, and the 3rd from the E diminished. So let me play the whole thing. I know I've been saying a lot of phrases and maybe you're not there with theory yet, but at least you can just learn the pattern. Like that. I like this because it allows me to use tapping to really go through and outline different chords, but create kind of an ostinato of the 5th and the C and the F, incorporating it. Which, when you really look at it, I'm really getting in the weeds here, but if you really look at what I'm doing, is I'm adding extensions to some of the chords that are, I think, kind of cool. But it's all in the key of F, and I like it. On the very least, it's a cool triplet exercise. All right. So did I confuse you? Because I feel like I confused myself there. I didn't explain it very well. And maybe I'll need to do another video where I actually show you what the extensions are for each chord. I was just afraid that I would get too far in the weeds and maybe turn some of you guys off. So you gotta let me know. How did this pattern go? Is this good enough to teach? Did you get the necessary things from this video, or do you want me to shoot another one? Remember guys, you call the shots. If I didn't describe it well, send me a message or a post in the comments below, and I'll do a part two. I'll do a do-over on it and maybe delve a little deeper. Just let me know. Of course, it could really help you, and it would really help me, is if you go to everythingbass.com's Patreon channel, which is patreon.com/everythingbass. Look for the chart Tapping Pattern 11. And if you're a Backstage Pass subscriber, which is just $8 a month, you can actually download all my curriculum for just that $8 a month. You don't have to pay extra per download. It's all covered under $8. For every month that you pay me $8, you absolutely can download everything, even from videos I did months ago. So just look for the tapping pattern 11 post, go down, open it up, click the PDF, you can download it. And I think then you'll see in my notations, for tapping, I use tab because it's important to know exactly what note I'm playing. So tab is really helpful there. If you're not familiar with tab, let me know below and I'll create a video on how to read tab. And I use diamond-shaped notes for standard notation that show you which notes are tapped with the right hand, which notes are tapped with the left hand. Or I should say, diamond head notes are with your plucking hand, and the non-diamond head notes are with your fretting hand. That way, if you happen to be a lefty bass player, hopefully I didn't lose you on there. So loving all that you guys are sharing me, comments. I really need to know how these are hitting. And remember, you can't hurt my feelings, because if I didn't explain it well, I will do it again. No extra charge. So what's the Encore item? It's, as I mentioned before, man, when my batteries are low and I'm feeling like I just need to get recharged so I can attack my bass and maybe get through a obstacle I've had or get past a plateau I've been on, I'll watch live concert videos. And I'm always on the look for new ones, and I like to buy them because I do watch them repeatedly. And I got one that blew my mind, which was G3 Live in Tokyo. Now, if you remember, the G3 is a tour that I believe Joe Satriani and Steve Vai started, where it's 3 virtuoso guitar players with these incredible bands, and they play these concerts. The live DVDs are shorter, so it's usually just a highlighting three songs, 2-3 songs from each artist, but they're well worth it because you get a lot of music, and the backstage, like, extra bonuses on the DVD are always, I find, really inspiring. So in this particular concert, we had John Petrucci open up, and then Steve Vai, and close with Joe Satriani, and then they come back and do a jam, and the jam was amazing. But why I selected this one instead of G3-1 or G3-2 is because John Petrucci, the guitarist from Dream Theater, his bass player, Dave LaRue, amazing. Dave played with Dixie Dregs, and he's got some incredible solo albums, Hub City Kid, phenomenal. Dave's just great. Everything about him is great. I was going to start talking about, let's just say everything about Dave's great. And you really get to hear him on this, and you get it because it's a trio, but also he plays just some great stuff. It's just inspiring. For me, it just got me fed and wanted me to go. Now, Steve Vai's band has Billy Sheehan in it, and just the whole band was freaking awesome. And wait till you just see some of the things they're doing. I don't want to spoil it, so I'm not even going to say spoiler alert. Just there's some things where they just link up, and one guy's playing the plucking on the other guy's guitar, and then fret. I mean, it's just insane. It's like an octopus of arms playing different basses and guitars, but it's still phenomenal. Great showman. I am a big fan of Steve Vai's music. I'm a big fan of Billy Sheehan's playing, and both are the highest caliber on this recording. And then, of course, Satriani has Matt Bissonette. Matt Bissonette, oh man, he was hitting it hard when I was down in Los Angeles and I was teaching at Musicians Institute. I actually was able to see his band play, which had a band with his brother Greg. Matt is no joke, man. Matt's a phenomenal player. And I really got inspired by seeing him live, seeing him in this concert, of course, with Joe. I mean, you get to see a guy just lay down a groove that's a foundation so big you can put a church on it. This thing's amazing, man. I love him. So you've got Dave LaRue, Billy Sheehan, Matt Bissonette, 3 great bass players playing with 3 iconic guitar players, putting music out that for me is over the moon. I just love this. And I've watched it 375,000 times, guessing. But it's that good, and it's worth multiple viewings. And I haven't said this in a while because I felt like I was getting soapboxy. But let's say you find this online, you can stream it for some, I don't know if you can, but let's say you can watch it for free and it does move you and it inspires you. If you have the financial means, I really encourage you to buy it. I got mine from Amazon.com and I checked and it's still there because I've had mine for many years. But by doing that, you're actually financially supporting these artists, and also it feels good. I've been blessed to be able to get royalty checks for recordings I've done and videos I've done. And it really does feel great when you get that check, and with it, it's always an itemized list of like what countries bought your stuff, and it just makes me feel good that people like believed in what I did so much they actually financially bought a copy, and of course it helped my family out like you wouldn't believe. So I'm just passing that on. It's like a little bit of the thought for the day. If if you see a concert on TV on one of the channels that plays live concerts and it just inspired you and you loved it and you have the means, I don't want to stress you financially, but if you have the means, buy a copy of it and really show support for the arts, because that's how we get the next video. That's how these artists get financially able to put out another product that'll inspire us. So I hope you think about that. Check it out nonetheless. It's an awesome, awesome concert. G3 live in Tokyo and Tapping Pattern 11. How'd I do, guys? Let me know. You've been so awesome. I'm so blessed that I have such a great bass family, and it's growing every single day. More people subscribe to the channel, more people subscribe to the Patreon, and I just really, really, really appreciate that. So thank you so much, and I will see you at the next video.